Once upon a time, nestled high in the heart of a sun-dappled eucalyptus forest, lived a family of adorable gray kangaroos. Papa Roo was strong and playful, Mama Roo was kind and gentle, and their baby son, Kuki, was the embodiment of boundless energy and curiosity. Every day Kuki would scamper around their tree hollow, dreaming of adventures beyond the familiar eucalyptus leaves. One morning, as the first rays of sunlight painted the eucalyptus forest in golden hues, little Kuki woke up earlier than usual, carefully avoiding disturbing his mother's deep slumber. He stirred quietly. Today was going to be different. His heart burned with the desire to explore. With a determined hop, Kuki started his ascent up the rough bark of their family tree. As he climbed, he noticed strange markings carved into the bark of an ancient eucalyptus tree. It looked like a map. The etched lines pointed deep into the forest, leading to the great crystal waterfall. Kuki's heart raced with excitement. Just then, a familiar laughter echoed above him. Well, if it isn't little Kuki, come to steal some sunshine from the sky. It was Coco, a wise and ancient blue-winged kookaburra bird who had seen many seasons come and go. Coco explained that the map Kuki had found was an ancient one, a guide to the great crystal waterfall, a place of healing and wonder deep within the forest. But the journey was fraught with peril, and only a brave and curious heart could navigate its trials. I have watched you, Kuki, the kookaburra continued, and I believe you have what it takes. Will you take the challenge? Kuki looked back at his cozy tree hollow, at the sleeping form of his mother, his home. He thought of all the yummy eucalyptus leaves he'd miss out on. Then he looked back at the map in his paws. The desire to explore, to discover, to be brave bubbled inside him. Yes, he squeaked. I'll do it. The kookaburra smiled. Very well then, she said. Follow the lines on the bark, and they shall lead you to the first passage, the Valley of Poisonous Flowers. With a flap of her wings, she took off towards the sun, leaving Kuki to begin his exciting quest. Kuki followed the map, hopping and skipping through the undergrowth until he reached the edge of the valley. There before him stretched a carpet of colorful flowers, each more vibrant than the last. Their sweet fragrance filled the air. However, Kuki knew from his mother's stories that these flowers were poisonous and dangerous. If he wanted to reach the great crystal waterfall, he would need help to get through. Just then, a small brown figure popped out from behind a log. Well, hello there, chirped a friendly voice. It was Pip the platypus, known throughout the forest for his adventurous spirit and love for discovering new things. Pip, after hearing about Kuki's quest, was eager to join him. Together, they ventured cautiously into the sea of flowers. Pip, with his duck-like bill, sniffed the air, ensuring they avoided the poisonous blooms. His keen sense of smell guided them safely through the Valley of Poisonous Flowers and onto the next passage, the Pass of the Rock Giants. At the entrance stood two massive rocks, so large they resembled slumbering giants. The rocks rumbled and shook, making it impossible to pass. Kuki and Pip exchanged worried glances. How could they hope to navigate this? Suddenly, Pip noticed a small opening at the base of the rocks. Maybe we can go under, he suggested. But as soon as they squeezed through, the opening collapsed, sealing them inside. Pip, ever resourceful, noticed some smooth pebbles nearby. Using his strong beak, he began to arrange them in a pattern that looked strangely familiar. As the last rock slotted into place, a deep rumbling echoed around them. Pip exclaimed, I think I just translated the language of the stones. Just then, the rock giants stirred, their eyes twinkling with life. They rumbled, Who goes by the name of Eucalyptus? Startled, Kuki and Pip stepped forward. We do, squeaked Pip. We mean no harm. We just want to pass. The rock giants smiled, their rumbling turning into a gentle hum. They had been waiting for someone to speak the sacred word for ages, and now they would help Kuki on his quest. They parted, revealing a path leading deeper into the forest. As they walked, they entered the final passage, the eerie shadow forest. Here, gnarled trees twisted towards the ground, forming a canopy so thick it blocked out most of the sunlight. Strange shadows flickered and danced around them. Kuki felt a shiver run down his spine. The air grew colder, and the shadows seemed to take on a life of their own, reaching out as if to grab him. Fear threatened to overwhelm him, but then he remembered his mother's lullabies, the songs she used to sing to chase away his fears. He began to hum softly, and as the melody filled the forest, the shadows seemed to shrink back. Suddenly, a large blue shape slithered out from under a log. It was Dara the giant lizard, his shimmering blue-green scales glinting in the dim light. Over many decades, He had become the keeper of the forest's ancient history. He had witnessed the changing seasons, the birth of new life, and the cycles of growth and decay. Dara, intrigued by Kuki's soothing song, decided to accompany him on his journey. Soon, they heard a rushing sound. Pushing aside some thick vines, they emerged into a clearing, and there before them cascaded the great crystal waterfall, its water sparkling like 1,000 diamonds. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting rainbows on the glistening spray. The air buzzed with the sound of busy insects, bird song, and the gushing of the falls. It was a place of magic and healing. But guarding the waterfall was the ancient Raven King, his feathers as black as midnight, his eyes sharp and intense. He regarded Kuki with a piercing stare. "So, you have come," he croaked, his voice echoing with age. "But why should I allow you to enter this sacred place?" Confused, Kuki asked. "I found the map and I followed it here. Is there a problem?" The Raven King hopped closer, his gaze unwavering. "The map is old and its magic is faded. It does not guarantee your worthiness. You must prove your courage if you wish to enter." Kuki's heart sank. He had been so focused on reaching the waterfall that he hadn't considered any challenges. But how could he prove his courage? Just then, Dara spoke up. "Ancient One, Kuki's heart is pure. His determination to explore and learn is a testament to his spirit. Let him pass." The Raven King turned his gaze back to Kuki. "Very well," he croaked. "I will test you one last time. Are you willing to face your fears?" Kuki took a deep breath, remembering the dark and scary parts of the forest. The rumbling rocks, the dancing shadows, the creepy He thought of his friends, Pip and Wally, and the kookaburra who had believed in him. He knew he couldn't let them down. "Yes," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "I am willing." The Raven King nodded. "Then enter the waterfall. Only those who conquer their fears may claim their reward." With a final glance at his companions, Kuki took a deep breath and dove into the cool, refreshing water. When Kuki emerged from the waterfall, he felt lighter, braver, and stronger than before. The Raven King approached him, his expression softening. "You have shown true courage, Kuki," he said, extending a wing. "Here is your reward." The king placed a single eucalyptus leaf into Kuki's palm. This was no ordinary leaf. It shimmered with an otherworldly glow, pulsing with a soft inner light. The Raven King explained that this was a magical leaf that granted the ability to understand the languages of all creatures in the forest. With his newfound gift, Kuki helped his friends escape the clutches of a Tasmanian devil who wanted to build a new house using their tree. They also discovered a hidden underwater tunnel that connected them to a secret lagoon where Wally's mother lived. Finally, Dara shared ancient tales of the forest's past, stories that had been passed down through generations of animals. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Kuki's anxious mother waited atop their tree. Seeing her son return, she rushed to him, showering him with the tightest hugs and the yummiest eucalyptus leaves. Kuki snuggled close to his mom, recounting every detail of his amazing adventure. And as the moon replaced the sun, he whispered, "Mom, now I understand. The forest isn't just our home, it's a treasure we must protect." His mother nuzzled him, her eyes shining with pride. "You've grown so much, my little one. Shall we explore together tomorrow?" And so that's how little Kuki, the brave and curious Joey, discovered the secrets of the eucalyptus forest, proving that sometimes the greatest adventures start right outside your door. Kuki learned that day that courage wasn't the absence of fear, but doing what was right despite it. From that day on, Kuki became known throughout the forest as Kuki the Brave, always ready to help those in need. And whenever he faced a challenge, he remembered the wisdom of the Raven King and the importance of following one's dreams